guys? So what are some of the reasons why new ball python breeders fail? How come some of us burn out so quickly? What's up, YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs, guys. Listen, I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm going to try not to say it anymore, but listen, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. Instagram is blue_line_morphs, Facebook page Blue Line Morphs, everything's Blue Line Morphs. Everything will be in the notes section. I promise with the new year, once you switch over to that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday posting, I'm not going to say this shit anymore, okay? It's getting redundant now. I think about 165 videos. You guys get it. I'm sure if you like the content or you like hearing bullshit enough, you're going to subscribe anyway. No real update, guys. Had a good feeding today. I only picked up 15 rats from Sal. They're going with pythons. Definitely check him out on Instagram and YouTube. Everyone ate pretty well. A couple girls were in the shed. They didn't eat. No big deal. Pretty much everybody's doing really well. Might have an issue with one of my ball pythons. We'll talk about that later on once I find out more information about it. Like I said, I tell you guys everything. Complete and total honesty and transparency, so we're going to have to talk about this eventually. Anyway, that's just who I am. We'll get into that once I work out some of the kinks and logistics of what's going on with that snake. But everybody's doing good. Everybody's healthy-ish. Everyone's doing all right. Rats are doing well. That one litter is cranking, moving. Right now, it looks like one of the younger males is trying to have sex with his mom. Anyway, listen, everything's doing really well, guys. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. Talking this already. This week with New Year's is going to be a little weird. Not sure I'm going to post. Obviously, with my job, you guys know what I do for a living. New Year's Eve is always a shit show for me. So, I believe it's a Thursday. So, I don't know if I'm going to have a video for Friday. But stay tuned for, we'll see what happens. I'll announce it on Instagram. Okay? This video kind of got inspired. I've seen these sorts of videos on YouTube already. The negative side of breeding ball pythons or why people fail in general. But I thought I'd do one more or less. Why people fail, why people quit. Not fail, right? Because you only fail when you quit. So quitting is why do people quit the ball python hobby? So I thought I came up with a few reasons right here. I quote up my cheat sheet, right? You guys all know about this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 different reasons, all kind of coincide with each other. But I thought I'd talk about it, especially if you're looking to get into breeding ball pythons or you're kind of new to the game like I am, how it's easy to just pack up ship and quit, okay? So let's just talk about some reasons why people do this. That's really that simple, right? It's Monday, easy video, let's see what's happening. Sorry about the beard getting a little long and scruffy. My bartender, man, I'm Irish. My barber is kind of doing his own thing, so we'll see. Hopefully I see him on Saturday, see what happens. Oh, microphone turn around. Anyway, guys, let's get into this. So, first and foremost, sometimes shit happens, okay? It's really that simple. Like, you go on Craigslist, you go on Craigslist, or any of these other type of places where you can post your self-initiated ads, you'll see a lot of people saying, like, getting out of the ball python game, getting out of the business, getting out of the hobby, etc., etc. And I've had the fortunate circumstances sometimes picking up some of those snakes, people getting out of the hobby. When I speak to them, sometimes it's just out of their hands, man. Sometimes it's a money issue. Sometimes it's a family issue, job, relocating, stuff like that. I got Luna, my big old belle, the other banana, and she pastel butter, possible fire freak, from a guy who bought it for his son, and then it's someone way to be Marine, and he's getting out of the hobby, and he's moving how to get rid of him. So sometimes shit just happens, right? You see people come in and out of the hobby a lot. One of my good friends, Mike, Redline Pythons, check him out on Instagram. Doesn't have YouTube because he's a coward. Get on it. So, long story short, he came in and out of the hobby, right? He's an OG. He's been doing this for, shit, I don't know, he's like 72 years old, so back from the 60s. No, I think he's been doing this since like the 80s, give or take 80s or 90s, whatever the case may be. Regardless, people come in and out of the hobby. Shit happens. So it's not quitting, but that's why people get burnt out or they fail. Shit just kind of happens sometimes. Look into the real reasons why people fail. I think one of the biggest reasons is they get into it for the money. Okay? Listen, we spoke about this a million times. Let's move that. That's going to fall. We spoke about this a million times. You can make good money in ball python. You can make good money pretty much doing anything you put your mind to. But when people get into this hobby strictly for the money aspect, I feel like they're doomed to fail and doomed to burn out, okay? The reason being is you're not going to make that money right away. You're not going to make good money right away. It's not a way to make a quick buck. So if you're not in love with the hobby to begin with, if you don't love coming into your snake room and playing with your snakes, well, don't got to be in the snake room for that. But if you don't enjoy the hobby, you don't enjoy the reptiles, you don't enjoy the snakes and the culture and the community, you're going to get burnt out waiting for that paycheck. See, for me, I don't care if I make any money this year or next year. Listen, I want to make money. I talked about this, right? It's a little side hustle, side business. But if I don't make money first year, second year, third year, it's cool. Because why? I really enjoy the animals, really enjoy the snakes. I'm not going to burn myself out waiting for that paycheck. I'm not waiting for that next paycheck. And that kind of segues me into my other point is people rely on the animals for their income. Listen, if you do that, unless you're really successful and you're big, a lot of these big-time breeders that breed full-time, they had full-time jobs, right? I did a whole video talking about stuff like that. People get burnt out chasing the paper, chasing the money. Don't do that. I really don't. You should not do that. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not going to happen. So if you're looking for it, all of a sudden you're going to invest a little time. A year and a half, 2 years goes by. You realize you're not cranking in the big bucks. You're going to quit on yourself. You're going to quit on the hobby. And you end up selling your stuff to a guy like me who's going to pay you pennies on the dollar. So next reason, people. I have a lot of different reasons for this reason, and it's discouragement. Being discouraged, okay? There's a lot of different ways people can be discouraged. Now, again, guys, all these things I'm talking about, all these things I'm going over, obviously there's a million different reasons, right? So definitely comment down below. What do you guys think? Why do people get burnt out? Why do people kind of quit the hobby too early, okay? People become discouraged, okay? First and foremost, maybe by mistakes, right? Look at me, okay? Like I say it. Somehow I've had a little bit of minor success here on social media. I guess because, I'm just a meathead just talking. But regardless, I made my mistakes, right? I have no qualms saying that I am a new breeder and I am a rookie. That I kind of don't know what I'm doing with some aspects. But I'm learning the best I can. We're evolving together as a channel and as a hobby. My first clutch with Luna, I smoked it, man. My incubator wasn't running right. It was too hot. There was no fan. The fan was cranking, dried him out, and I killed that first clutch. Okay? Second clutch came rolling in. Big Mama, I had 11 eggs. One was a slug, so 10. I think only 7 survived out of that, right? I had the issues where, like, the egg yolk was becoming hard inside the belly, called hard belly, right? 2 of the snakes died from that. 1 died. I had a really rough go in the beginning, guys, right? It was really tough for me. It was really easy to get discouraged. Like, oh, fuck this, right? I'm not doing this shit. I'm putting all this money into it. I kill the animals anyway. But those are my mistakes, and you got to trudge through those mistakes. So you can't get discouraged because you screw up. We're new. We're humans. We're rookies. We're figuring this out as we go. So you can't get discouraged from that. Also, people get discouraged simply by the negative people in their life. I did a whole video a week ago, about how ball python breeders, reptile people, we are weird, right? And it's cool. It's okay to be weird. It's chill. But a lot of people are going to come down on you. I got a sergeant. He's my partner. Is like pretty much one of my best friends. Destroys me and will laugh right in my face about the snakes. I'm not going to get discouraged from that. My girlfriend hates snakes. Right? I've been off and on with this girl for 7 or 8 years. Is not a fan of snakes. All right, so much so that if we ever get a house together, they're probably going to be banished to a different building. Okay. But I'm not going to let that discourage me, whether it's the haters on social media, whether it's the negative aspects attached to bringing ball pythons, the negative influences in your life. Ignore the haters, ignore the bullshit, you keep on moving. Don't get discouraged by that. People focus on... When I first started this channel, I said that I used to watch the bigger channels and they had 100 snakes behind them, 200 snakes, 300 snakes. I have one ARS rack right here in a fancy... banner you can get off Vistaprint for $69.95 or some shit. Maybe it's $75. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And people, it's really easy to watch these channels and get discouraged, right? You look like, holy shit, look at Billy, look at Justin, look at Miguel. I mean, you look at all these people, and you're like, wow, I'll never catch up to them. And all of a sudden, they come back to their collection of 3 or 4 snakes, and relatively cheap morphs, whatever the case may be. And it's like, I'm never gonna get there. Bullshit, man. You just keep grinding. You just keep moving along. Don't get discouraged by that, okay? Don't get discouraged by watching other people. Too often, people will look at the people will look at people on the top of the hill, on top of the mountain, and wish to be there, right? Everyone always wants to say, you enjoy the journey. It's the journey that matters, not the destination. Bullshit. You don't go on vacation and sit on a plane, do you? I don't think so. You want to get to Jamaica, right? I stole that from somebody. I forget who. Don't remember. But anyway, where the hell did I think it from? The Be Obsessed or Be Average guy. Grant Cardone. Stole from him. Anyway, listen. You can't look at the people at the top of the peak of the pinnacle where you want to be, then get discouraged you're not there, okay? It's a work in progress. You slow, steady climb to the top, all right, man? You got to just keep going, otherwise you will never get there. With that being said, you also can't look at other people producing and be like, shit, I'm only going to make X, Y, and Z this year. This guy's making that. Who cares? You know what? 3 years ago, he was making what you're making. So you can't get discouraged by looking at other people's collections, other people's success. You should be happy for those people in the hobby. You should be happy the hobby's thriving and doing well. Happy the community's doing well. So don't get discouraged by negative people, mistakes, Not making money, that could discourage you too. Don't get discouraged by watching the bigger people, okay? Two more things I want to talk about. The first thing is, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm going to be honest, I feel like I may have gotten ahead of myself, okay? We know my first season was kind of a shit show, right? Killed the first clutch, almost killed the second clutch. We spoke about this. Incubator issue is fixed. We'll talk about that in another video. But now I went from like 2 or 3 clutches to, I might have like 12 this year, 25 the next year, okay? Now, is that good? Sure, you got to progress. You got to get bigger. As long as you plan accordingly, you should be okay. We'll talk about that at another point. But if you start getting ahead of yourself, you start getting overwhelmed, you're going to burn yourself out. It's easy to gradually have more and more snakes and do more and more work. If you're used to 5, then you get 7, not a big deal. Used to 5, then 7, then 10, then 12, then 15, then 20, then 25. Cool. It's a gradual climb, getting more responsibility, more work in. If you go from 5 to 40, like I did, kind of gets overwhelming sometimes. Like I like it, right? Going back to the first point, I enjoy the snakes, enjoy the animals, so it's really not that big of a deal for me because I enjoy being in here. Look, I'm not going to lie. Got my beer. I'm doing my thing. But if you get ahead of yourself, you might burn yourself out, okay? If you grow too big too quickly, you might burn yourself out. That being said, I'm a big advocate of balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, let it rock, right? Same time, you got to do it semi-responsibly, respecting the hobby, and just be prepared, okay? Have the right equipment in place, have the right stuff going on. That way, you don't grow and get too big. Second point of that point is this. I've heard this before. You could be discouraged because you got too big for yourself. And what you started to do is, in other words, if I have a leopard and I have a coral glow and I combine them together, I can ID a coral glow leopard no problem, right? Because I'm a rookie and it's 2 genes, you can tell the difference, correct? But let's say, kind of what I did, you have an animal with 4 codons, maybe recessive in there too, another animal with 3 codons, recessive in there too. Now all of a sudden you're combining them together. So in other words, let's say I had a coral glow and a leopard, put them together, I can ID a coral glow and a leopard. Now I have that animal, let's say I add clown to that. Now I can ID, coral glow, clown, leopard, right? Because I add that gene and you start adding genes in, and as your experience grows, you start to be able to identify different animals because you slowly built up to recognizing that 5 gene combo animal. Where with guys like myself, we're just jumping right into the mix, okay? So now all of a sudden I'm gonna, only thing I had ID last season was a regular and a banana. This season, I'm going to have to ID some wild shit. So I kind of got ahead of myself. So I cannot burn myself out and getting upset about that. That being said, there's a lot of stuff on the internet, a lot of websites, a lot of pictures of people have produced this shit before. So you'll be able to see it and should make it easier, okay? Let's get to my last point. I spoke of this before. This goes back to my powerlifting days, okay? Make a plan, stick to it, and hurt some fucking feelings, okay? It's really that simple. People that don't have a plan, fail to prepare to fail, right? This stuff they used to yell at me in the academy. I'm sure you guys have heard it a million times. People, if you just wing this, okay? If you start having, 40 snakes back here and more clutches, and you just wing it and let it rock, you're going to fail. You're not going to be prepared, okay? You didn't have a plan. So if you didn't have that plan, you're going to burn yourself out trying to catch up. And if it's a cluster, I curse all the time, who cares, right? But if it's chaos and you're running around like a chicken with the head cut off, it's really easy to get discouraged. Like, this is not worth it. I'm done with this, okay? Don't do that, okay? That being said, have your goals, right? Have your goals in mind. Have things to work toward. The same thing with like powerlifting, right? There was a great video by Mark Bell. Powerlifter, he's actually said, listen, if you squat 700, don't say you want to squat 1,000, right? It's stupid. It's 30, roughly, I don't know, what is that, guys? 42%, spin on the camera. 42% working up, right? No, say, you know what? I squat 700, I want to feel 750. I want to squat 720. I just want to feel 800, okay? So have a goal to work towards, right? For me, like my end goal, we talked about this, I want to get a nice clown, exanthic clown pied, right? A lightning clown pied. Yeah, whatever. That's what I want to work towards. And I can't get discouraged. I'm not creating that my first year. Why don't we start with a clown pie? Why don't we start with producing a normal pie, right? So you have these goals in mind. You have these stages. So you get to the one goal. Same thing like social media, right? You have a goal of getting monetized. Hit that goal. Don't be like, I want to have 100,000 subscribers. I want to have 1,000. I want to have 1,200. Then I want to have 1,400. It's like the fat guys, right? When we go running, like you should have a 10-minute run you have to go on, right? You do like 5 2-minute runs. You guys know what I'm talking about. Or 2 5-minute runs. Have little goals, okay? When you start crushing these little goals, it's easier to get to the top of where you want to go. If you just look at like a monumental task, catching in this regard, catching up to these big-time breeders, oh, I'm never going to get there. No, you're going to get to the stage, you're going to fail. So have these little goals, right? You have a little goal, I want to fill this ARS rack and I want to have 5 clutches this year. Cool, I had 5 clutches. Next year, let's get 10 clutches. Don't be an idiot. You're like, I want 40 clutches, or I want this, I want this. Have these little goals to obtain these easily obtained goals, but you have a lot of goals to get to where you want to go in the end, okay? That's really it, guys. Those are some of the reasons why I see people getting burnt out or quitting this hobby and getting out of it. I'm sure there's a million different reasons why people do quit or get burnt out or leave this type of hobby. Comment down below. What have you guys heard? These are some things I came up with quickly, right? To sit on my couch watching the Packer-Titan game. Listen, guys, I'm not going anywhere for a while. I hope you guys aren't going anywhere for a while, man. Let's do this together. Let's keep this going. If you guys ever start getting discouraged or get negative influences in your life, DM me on Instagram, man. We'll chat. I'll keep you going. Maybe you'll keep me going one day, all right? We don't quit. We keep this going. Let's not get burnt out. Let's keep this hobby alive. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it moving. Those are some of the reasons I can think of. But listen, guys, that's it. Have a good week, man. I'll see you again on Wednesday, right? Today's Monday night for you guys. So hopefully I'm on some overtime. Close that tab. Oh, boy. I have some escapees. Anyway. Hopefully I'm on overtime right now and I post this. We'll see what happens, guys. Listen, as always, I greatly appreciate it. Oh, by the way, Shane and I from Small Town Exotics, we are closing in on 10,000 followers on Instagram. Go help us out, man. Okay? Please, help us out. That'd be pretty cool, right? Just to see a 10 and a K. Wow, I'm famous now. Listen, as always, guys, I really appreciate it. Be safe. Please remember, watch your 6.